Only 5 days until the election. Former President Donald Trump touching down in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let's listen in as he starts his event.
To stop the people pouring across the border that are murderers, they're killers, they're drug addicts, they're drug dealers, they're gang members. Why? New Mexico wants to keep it going like it is. So, you know, we almost won it twice. And let me tell you, I believe we won it twice. Okay, you want to know the truth. And if you can watch your vote counter, if we could bring God down from heaven and he could be the vote counter, we would win this, we'd win California, we'd win a lot of states. A lot of states that they say, oh, a Republican can't win that state. They say a Republican can't win. Well, you know what? We're going to win it. We got to win it. You just got to keep the votes honest. Keep the votes honest. But a very big hello. It is really an honor to be in New Mexico. I have so many friends. I've been here before, as you know, but we have so many friends, and I'm thrilled to be in this beautiful state with thousands of very proud, hardworking American patriots, which is what you are. And I'd like to begin by asking a very, very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? You know, we had per gallon $1.84. We used to say 87. I was corrected by the people in Washington. Can you believe it? $1.84 a gallon. And now you're at $3.50, $4. And let me tell you, after the election, if things didn't go the way they're expected to go, you'd be at $6, $7, $9, $10. But I've come here today with a message of hope for all Americans. With your vote in this election, I will end inflation. I will stop the massive invasion of criminals into your state. And I will bring back the American dream. We're going to bring back the American dream. It's hard to have an American dream when radical, crazy killers and just horrible, horrible murderers. You know, you had coming through your border. Do you know how many you had? 13,099. That's Border Patrol, who endorsed me, by the way, very strongly. And you know what they said about her? She's the worst person they've ever seen having anything to do with the border. She's terrible. You cannot elect her. That's Border Patrol. That's Border Patrol. Do you know that in 4 years, almost 4 years, she never called Border Patrol once, and yet she was in charge of the border? That's not too good. That's not. She's a stiff. She's a total stiff, and she lies. She had a news conference today. Oh, Trump wants to, let's see, what can we say? Oh, he's going to cut Social Security. No, I'm not. I'm the one that saved it. He's going to save Social Security. She's going to lose it. And he's against he's against fertilization. He's against fertilization. She just says anything that comes to her mind. She's a liar. She's worse than Crooked Hillary. At least Hillary was intelligent. She was a very intelligent one. This one is a total stiff. You can't have her as your president. You know, she talks about unity. Oh, unity, unity. Oh, yeah, unity. By the way, he's like Hitler. He reminds me of Hitler. He's a fascist. She's talking about we're going to have unity, and then she calls me a fascist in the next sentence. This is the worst unifier. And you know, Biden was bad, but you know who was a really bad unifier? Barack Hussein Obama. He was a horrible unifier. Horrible. He was a horrible unifier. And not a very good person. Not a very good person. Now, here's the guy, though. The man whose election was ripped away from him like you take candy from a baby, okay? Crooked Joe Biden. What's better, Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe? Sometimes I feel like it's Sleepy. Well, now, I don't know. Well, he's gotten him in so much trouble when he called you garbage. Hey, you're not garbage. You're not garbage. This is a hell of a big crowd. Look at that. Goes. I wish the fake news. I wish the fake news would show this crowd. I wish they'd turn the cameras over there as far as the eye can see. Over there. Not one camera's turning. Not one camera. They never turn the cameras. They never want to show the real crowd size. You know, Kamala should never be running right now. She doesn't deserve it. She came in last. She got no votes. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a big fan, but we had a debate. His numbers went down. It can happen, but they took it away from him. You don't take it away. He got 14 million votes in the Democrat Party, and then, oh, that sounds like a nice F-35. You know how many of them I bought? I bought a lot of them. Personally, I like the F-22 the best, by the way. But I think the F-22 is the most beautiful fighter jet ever made. But let's get back into this. That's the weave. Let's get back to the subject. You always end up in the right. You have to always end up in the right place. But crooked Joe Biden, they stole the election from him. They went in. They said, crazy Nancy Pelosi, who, by the way, she had a big stake in Visa. And she sold it 2 weeks ago. The following day, it was announced that Visa is under major investigation. Nancy Pelosi sold her Visa stock 1 day before it was announced that they were under investigation. And the fake news doesn't want to report the story. The fake news won't report the story. No. But there's one big difference between crooked Hillary and Kamala. You know what it is? Hillary was far more intelligent than I get. But Hillary didn't lie as much. Hillary was a liar and a scoundrel and a horrible human being, but she didn't lie as much as Kamala. Kamala will get up and say, Trump doesn't want to frack. He will never frack. No, I frack and I drill, baby, drill. I want to drill, baby, drill. She'll get up and say, haven't you heard? Donald Trump will not drill, baby, drill. He will not drill, baby, drill. No. Fortunately, most people are intelligent and they get it. And we're leading big in the polls, all the polls. This is all you need to know. Kamala broke it, and I will fix it, and I'll fix it very quickly. And with your support, New Mexico, look, don't make me waste a whole damn half a day here, okay? Look, I came here, you know, we can be nice to each other, or we can talk turkey. Let's talk turkey, okay? First of all, Hispanics love Trump. They do. True. I like them. They're smart. They're a lot smarter than the person running for president on the Democrat side. You could say a lot smarter than Biden, too, I can tell you. They're smart. They're entrepreneurial as hell. They're great entrepreneurs, actually. Great small business owners and big business owners, too. But they're great. They work their asses off. That's right. They don't want to get anything for nothing. They want it. They just want a fair, nice, level playing table, and that's what's going to happen. But you know what? No, but did you hear? I'm at the highest point of any Republican in history. Now we're going to, okay, that's one step. Now I'm going to make it of any Democrat also, because I treat you much better than the Democrats. The Democrats, they're destroying your country. They're destroying your country. So I'm here for one simple reason. I like you very much, and it's good for my credentials with the Hispanic or Latino community. You know, on the East Coast, they like being called Hispanics. You know this? On the West Coast, they like being called Latinos. So, poll, give me a free poll. You know, I don't have to spend $300,000. First is going to be Latinos, next is Hispanics, right? Which do you prefer? Latinos. Uh-oh. Let me give it one more shot. Latinos. Hispanics. I can't believe it. I had an argument on the plane back there. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I had a little argument on the plane. They said, sir, please use the term Latino when you're in New Mexico, I said. And I said, you know, I've always heard Hispanic, and then at some point, there is a little area, but I feel more comfortable. Sir, really, you'll be very insulting. I take a poll, and it's 97% I was right. A free poll. As I was saying, I love the Hispanics. I love them. I love Hispanics, and they are. They're hard workers, and boy, are they entrepreneurial, and they're great people, and they are warm. They are warm. Sometimes they're too warm, you want to know the truth. They are warm people. But you have to turn out the record numbers that we need in order to really demand a better future, and you have to go out, you have to vote. We want to win, win, win. We want to take care of the great state of New Mexico. We're going to defeat Kamala Harris, the worst vice president, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again, and you're going to go back. And, you know, this group, I think this group is so large that if you all went right after this, who's voted? Oh. Okay, who is going to vote? That's good. Well, the people that have voted, if you voted against me, shame on you. I'm only going to focus on the people that haven't voted. I'm holding it against you. I should have done this trip about a week earlier, by the way. It's all right. These are minor mistakes. These are minor mistakes. No, it's good to be with you. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. But those people that haven't voted, which is about 40%, get out and vote for Trump, and we're going to have a big victory. We're going to have a big victory. I just want to be proven right. You know, I like to say I'm never wrong because it's good. Remember the hat, the great hat? Trump was never wrong about anything, and it's true. And that's sad because I've made some very bad predictions with her in office. You'll end up in depressions. You'll end up in third world wars. You'll end up, if anything ever happened, it would be horrible. If she got in, it would be horrible for the future of this country because she's grossly incompetent. She's more incompetent than Biden, and I didn't think I could say that about anybody. Do you think she's happy with him? I don't think so. Do you think she feels good about the language that he's been using lately, like calling us all garbage? Can you imagine the phone calls? What the hell are you doing, Joe? Please, Joe. I'm trying, Joe. I'm at a big disadvantage. I'm at a big, you know, they say I'm not smart, no, and then you go and you make it more difficult for me, Joe. What are you doing, Joe? Well, that's the way I feel, because that is the way it feels, probably. But you know who really, I won't use that term on him, but you know who the person is that we don't have too much respect for, right? I mean, you see what we have, and they're destroying our country, and they're ruining your state. They're letting millions of people come into your state. They're ruining your state. And get out there and vote. One of the biggest reasons we will win this state is that you have among the worst border problems of any state in America. And I am the only one that knows how to fix it. I already did fix it. 4 years ago, you didn't have a problem. 4 years ago, you didn't have a problem. Under Kamala, New Mexico has seen millions of people pour across your section of the southern border, including 10,000 convicted criminals and thousands of illegal alien gang members. Congratulations, you now have those gang members in your presence. Yeah, you have a lot of rough hombres, don't you? You have a lot of rough, they're tough hombres. Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums, and mental institutions. They're emptying out their mental institutions and their prisons and jails from all over the world, and they're coming into the United States of America. We're like a dumping ground. We're like a dumping ground. It's a horrible thing. They come from Venezuela, they come from the Congo, and they're stealing countless American lives. In Las Cruces, Mexico, an illegal alien criminal who was arrested but released from jail. You heard about this. You know about this. It's a big story all over, but especially here. On unsecured bond, was charged. Unsecured bond. What is an unsecured bond? The hell are they doing, an unsecured bond? What does that mean? What is it? A bond is supposed to be secured. Was charged with decapitating a man, mutilating his body, and kicking his head around like a soccer ball in the public park. The victim's head was found 30 feet from his body. He had been stabbed multiple times, and his middle finger had been removed. I guess that was a sign of something. Today, I want to have you hear direct. By the way, that person is not being charged like he should be charged, okay? But today, I want you to take a look at something that just came about 2 days ago. We made a tape, which I'm going to show you, and it's a tape of a great mother who I got to know a little bit at one of the rallies, and I heard the story, and she said, I'd love to do this, and it's very sad. Everybody that's seen it, literally, they end up, tough men have ended up crying pretty profusely by watching this, so please take a look.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning first to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends. Yeah. We're going to shake it again.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in her bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles were both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
You're actually listening to the voice of the mom of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungre, who's the little girl that was raped and murdered by two members of the Venezuelan gang, two members of a gang that were here illegally in our country. The president, former president, using that story, the Nungre story, time and time again at his rallies now as he's pushing himself as the answer to the border problem and the crisis of immigrants here illegally, specifically tied to crimes. He is there in New Mexico right now, actually on the tarmac where he landed in Albuquerque. He's hoping to rally voters in traditionally blue states. The question now is, just 5 days away from Election Day, can Trump get the votes he needs in states that Republicans haven't won in decades? Let's bring in our White House correspondent, Selena Wang, as she's been following all these rallies from Harris to Trump, and also reporter Catherine Falders as well. Selena, let's start with you. It seems now that this appears to be the message that Trump is pushing at every rally, and immigration, it clearly is something that voters trust him the most when it comes to all the issues within the platform. But I see that he's using now the Nungre family and this same exact video of little Jocelyn's mom telling the story of how her daughter was brutally murdered by these two Venezuelan gang members. That is true. We have covered that. That's exactly how that murder went down. But he also continues to talk about all the other criminals that are being released into our country, where we have to continue to just fact check the numbers when he takes one true story and attempts to inflate that into many more where the numbers just are not there.
Well, Kira, there was a whole string of false and misleading statements that were made during that rally. Now, first of all, illegal immigrants commit crimes at lower rates than U.S. citizens. In addition to that, the latest data from Customs and Border Protection shows that since President Biden toughened the asylum restriction rules, toughened the border, illegal crossings have fallen by more than 55% to the lowest level in more than 4 years. So those are just the facts. That is what the data shows. But Donald Trump, of course, traveling to that state, which is reliably blue, in order to drive home issues that he believes he's got the advantage on, and that is the border and immigration, also hammering the economy, even though the latest economic data shows that the economy is firing on all cylinders. Now, Trump is also eager to shift the conversation here because for several days, the conversation has been focused on that Madison Square Garden rally where speakers spewed both racist, hateful, and sexist language, including one speaker who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Donald Trump at this rally today clearly also trying to appeal to Latino voters.
And driving home, that was the first thing he said, Catherine, right as he stepped up to the mic. I love Hispanics. They are warm people. He immediately drove into that angle, of course, coming off the story that is kind of started to die down about the comedian at his rally ripping the Puerto Rican people in a warm-up act that fell totally flat. So he's not only trying to get those Hispanic voters clearly, but he's also trying to get a state that Republicans haven't won in quite some time.
Yeah, they haven't, and it was interesting, Kira, of course, those comments off the top trying to appeal to those Latino voters, many of whom who are supporters of Trump and supporters of his mass deportation policy that he's proposing in terms of his immigration plans. It's still unclear how he would do such a thing, but something that does resonate with these voters that he's speaking to. But off the top there, and you just mentioned this about this state that he hasn't won. He didn't win in 2016. He didn't win it last time either in 2020. But right off the top on those remarks, he said he almost won it twice. And then I'm reading this quote so I don't get it wrong here. He says, I believe we won it twice. He says, I believe we won it. Well, 2016, he lost by 8 percentage points. 2020, he, I believe, lost by 11 percentage points. So again, another example of how Trump has been making these comments preemptively ahead of the election to what could be viewed, frankly, as sowing doubt in the election results. We already know that he's refused to say that he'd accept them. He's only said he'd accept the results if they're free and fair, but that would only be most likely if he won. So important comments to keep watching from the former president in these last 5 days.
All right, Catherine, Selena, thanks.